Hello and welcome everyone. This is RaceOnOz. It's the PC League. It's Season 2. It's Round 8. We are at the famous Spa-Francorchamps circuit in Belgium. My name is Nick. I'm going to be taking you through the next sort of hour and a bit of proceedings on this Monday evening. I hope you're all fine and well out there tonight. And we should have some pretty good racing in store this evening, if last week is anything to go by. So let's get straight into things, shall we? Let's have a look at championship standings. So after last week, Sean Madison sits atop of the times with sits atop of the points scoring sheet. 459 points. He couldn't quite take the win last week. He finished P2. He did take pole position with a scintillating lap around Watkins Glen, but unfortunately there was a pit stop error that cost him about 5 seconds in the pits in total, where he came out behind Bakita and ended up in P2. That was shortly before Andy O'Hara disaster struck, where he had a disconnect and unfortunately did not finish the race, so he sits there in P3, just 1 point behind Mitch Hobbs. It was a cracking race. It was Philippa Bakita who took out victory. That's her third victory for the season, so she was able to maintain about a 5 second gap between her and Sean Madison to take out victory. It was a bit of a survival of the fittest. We saw the stricken Mercedes of Nando Latanzio left suspended in midair as she crossed the line there as well. But it was a great battle between those three. Unfortunately for Andy O'Hara, where he did have the disconnect, and that does sometimes happen in sim racing, so hoping for better luck for him tonight. We also had Paul Russell as well. His sister was in the chat last week too, cheering him on. She did. He had a cracking battle with Mitch Hayes and Art Vanderlei as well. They scrapped it out for probably a good half an hour. And then, unfortunately for Paul Russell, he was the next one to have some bad luck. Less than 3 minutes remaining. Just ran a little bit wide, put in the wall at turn 10. And he had to limp home that Porsche to P8. So, a not bad result considering, but he was on course for a top 5 finish. Bruno Gallo, who is in 6th position, he actually had a great recovery last week. He managed to take home P3, so he sits 6th in the championship, so a new member of the trusted drivers panel. He had a lap 1 incident in that McLaren, managed to fight his way back and found himself with a little bit of good fortune up there in P3, but you know, you've got to be there when the good luck arrives, so you've got to be in it to win it, and that he was, so congrats to him as well. What else do I have here? So Nando, and that was about it for the last race. Let's keep on going through with the points. Rowdy Clayton, he was another one who suffered an incident on lap 1, so we didn't really get to see the best of him last week. Matt Frost there in 8th position in that Mercedes, who'll be looking for another strong finish tonight. He was the DNF last week, so he's down there in 8th position. 9th is Mitchell Weston. He didn't race last week. I haven't seen his name on the timing board this evening just yet either, so we'll see if he makes an appearance. And then that man Nando Latanzio down there in P10 on 277 points. Then we look at the silver category here, and it is that man indeed, Nando Latanzio. He's P1 on 216 points. He was P1 in the division last week. Peter Wall was P2. He sits in P2 in that Audi, who you would expect to have a pretty strong outing at a power-sensitive track like Spa tonight. Daniel Hemi Bateman, he's sitting there in P3 on 186 points. Then you've got Stephen Haycock in 4th on 151. Paddy Oliver, 142 in 5th. Then it's Basafto, 139 points in 6th. Anthony Cesana in 7th in the Lamborghini, 122. And then you've got Ray Haggis in the Beamer, 118 points. Adrian Rice in 9th on 101, and rounding out the top 10, Carlos Dominiak. He is on 92 points in the Audi. And then let's have a quick look at the silver drivers. You've got James Mack, the AM drivers, my mistake, the AM drivers. You have James Mack on 221 points. Mark Hurley, who finished P2 last week. He's there on 189 points. Herb Atron in the Ferrari, who should also be looking forward to this one with the performance of the Ferrari in P3. Stu Parsons in the Nissan. I don't think he raced last week. He's still sitting there in P4. He's tied with Harley Scotland, who's in their 5th position. Dean Karki hasn't raced in a little while now, so on 141 points. I think he was leading the championship at one stage, but sitting there in 6th right now. Phil Kraithios, 102, and last week's division winner, Simeon Coco, in the McLaren on 90 points. He's tied with Case Parsons in 9th position, also on 90, and then Michael Sheehan rounding out the top 10 on 31 points. So that is the standings all sorted out. Let's have a quick look at the circuit. So it's a legendary circuit, world famous. It has been in the sim racing world news recently. It's also been in the real racing world recently as well. Sim racing, it was a 24-hour race of Spa, where there was some, I guess you could call it questionable tactics, perhaps. It was exploiting a loophole in the game where you could get an advantage with tyre pressures if you actually ran on the grass, which kind of sort of runs counterintuitive to if you're a racing driver as well. But a few people were able to exploit that, and it was checked out as well. So I don't think we'll see any of that this evening. There was a 24-hour race for real yesterday around Spa, the 24 hours of Spa. So it's been a track that's been heavily used recently. And then the SRO virtual race there yesterday as well. They went around Spa with an event there. A 2:15.972 was the pole position time. I'm not too sure how close we'll be able to get to that this evening. The track time, the race time that we're going to be racing at is actually 6 a.m. Not particularly conducive to fast lap times with the low track temperatures as well. But the 20 turns 704 legendary circuit, the Spa as it is. Some of the famous names in car racing: La Source, Eau Rouge, Radion. We've got the Kemmel Straight there as well. Lacombe, Bruxelles is another legendary corner. The fast left-hander of Pouon down into Campus, through Stavelot, then Corbett, Port Ferret, and then you got Blanchimont, and then the famous bus stop chicane. So, cracking track. I dare say it's probably on quite a few people's bucket list. It's certainly on mine. But it's going to be the Race on Oz series. It's our turn this evening. We're about a minute away from proceedings getting underway here, so just sit tight. We'll have action on the track very, very shortly. We're going to kick off with a 15-minute qualifying session, and then we're going to do 60 minutes around Spa. So we are less than a minute away. We'll be back very, very shortly. Alright, we are back. So, having a quick look at practice wrapping up. It was this lady on top of the times, Philippa Bakita, with a 2:17.1. Absolutely rapid time. Will we see her drop into the 16s? I dare say with a time like that in practice, we will probably be seeing the 16s being breached this evening. Sean Madison up there as well. Not too sure what's going on with his livery. I did load the liveries. I'm not too sure. He doesn't have one this evening. Ryan Houlihan, P3, Mitch Hobbs and Matt Frost as well. Just having a look at the car manufacturers as well. The two McLarens in there, P1 and P3. That's unsurprising with the speed advantage those McLarens have. Unsurprising to see the Honda and also the Audi up there as well. I reckon the BMW might go well around here. James Pierre Reid in the Lamborghini. Paul Russell just scraping into the top 10 there Not too sure how well the Porsche will go with such a power-sensitive circuit like Spa. We are just moments away from getting this one started. Looking forward to this. Last week, we saw some cracking racing out in front at the beginning of the race, and we also saw some really good battles through the mid-pack as well throughout. So I think there'll be a couple of drivers out there for redemption a little bit tonight. Andy O'Hara would more than likely be one of those drivers, and I would also say Rowdy Clayton as well. But I'm just having a quick look. I don't think I actually see his name on the timing screens this evening, so it doesn't look like Rowdy is racing tonight. I can't see his name on there unless he's a late showing or I'm not picking him up. But yeah, might not be racing tonight. But those cars on screen definitely are. We've got a field of 30 tonight, which is a cracking effort. 30 cars in total. This is going to be fun, and here we go.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Just get this sorted. So cars making their way out. So qualifying's got to be 4 a.m. Race start is going to be 6 a.m. So it will get lighter. The time is going at times 1 tonight. So we're going to be racing in the early morning. Track temperature right now 17 degrees. Air temperature is also 17 degrees. So natural temperatures right now. Plenty of cars making their way out on circuit. One of them is Paddy Oliver. Didn't race last week, but he's back with us this evening, so he'll be looking to put in a good showing. Simone Cocco as well, currently sitting P8 in the AM Championship, so we'll be looking to put in a good effort this evening, as well as plenty of cars making their way out on the track right now. It's filling up quite rapidly. Kita we saw earlier. Oh, McElhenney. Paul McElhenney, not too sure what's happened with him, but he's heading back to the pits for now. It is quite a long lap as well, at just a tick over 7 kilometres, so it's going to be a case of making sure you get in those bankers nice and early and get yourself all sorted out. Try and put a time on the board rather early in this one. Just having a look at a few of the other cars that are out there right now, just scanning the field. Car 100, I saw Paddy Oliver before. Who else is out there? Car 65, very new. I'm not too sure. Rich Hobbs is out there, just coming through the bus stop chicane. So he's going to be the first driver by the looks of things. That's going to be Bakita. He will be the first driver. There she is. Set us off. There we go. So down the GT starting straight into the famous Eau Rouge corner. Top through Radion. That's a nice looking McLaren as well, with the red just above the top of the windscreen there. Getting a nice little toe there. Down the Kemmel Straight. $770 meters is the Kemmel Straight. So it's a kind of an awkward sort of length. It'll be interesting to see how many passes we see getting done in there tonight. Just making your way through Brussels, or Brussels, however you prefer to pronounce it. Go on board. It's going to make our way down to the double left-hander of Pouon. Gentle lift. Back on the power. Down here to Campos. at the moment, down on the best time. She will be the first time though to go around. She's making her way out of Stavolo. Track is very full right now. I think we've got just about all 30 cars out there, bar also we've got a couple in the pit still. McAlany and Harley Scotland as well. So Bakita just making her way through Blanchimont now, approaching the bus stop chicane. Hard on the brake. Often see a lot of overtaking happening in this part of the circuit. Yeah, so it's going to be the time. A 221 compared to Sean Madison, who's already gone a 218 flat. So he's had a good run there. This is Matt Frost. He's going to be one of the next cars along. Let's see what he can do. Goes P5. This is Carlos the Maniac. Up out of Porfrere into Blanchimont. Don't want to hit the curb there through Blanchimont. Try to stay away a little bit at least. And here he comes to the bus stop chicane again. Oh, he's run a little bit deep there. So I was going to say you can make up a lot of time, but you can also lose a lot of time through there as well. He ran a little bit deep there. Anthony Cesana. He'll be the next one, but right now it is Sean Madison with a 218 flat. He's currently P1. Andy O'Hara, Mitch Hobbs, James Pierre Reid, Matt Frost, Peter Wall, Mitch Hayes, Philippa Bakita, Wally Masterson, and John Drum. That is your top 10 right now. And as we're watching Anthony Cesana, a 222. Further up, let's go with Andy O'Hara. He's up on his best time right now. He's sitting in P2 at 218.075, 5/1000ths of a second off Sean Madison, who's in P1 right now, and he pulls over. So he pulls out of that lap. We'll duck on board with Sean Madison in the Honda. He was a pole position sitter last week. Had some trouble in the pit stops, which cost him about 5 seconds longer than the other two. That was O'Hara and Bakita who pitted in front of him. And I dare say, a shot at the win as well. He wasn't able to really get closer than 5 seconds to Bakita to finish the race. So he's up on his best time at 218 flat. So he makes his run to the line at 217.7. So cracking time there from him. Ryan Houlihan comes in P1 at 217.6. So he just launched through there. So he puts himself into P1 for now. We've got just over halfway remaining in this session. This is Neil Fakeney in the Aston Martin. Coming through the bus stop now. Sort of time. Can he go good enough for P10 for now? Who else is up on their best time? Hemi Bateman. He's just coming through campus right now. He's currently sitting P9 with just a tick over 7 minutes. Track is optimum now. Yes, just in the chat there, PJ. Track is optimum. Air temperature 17 degrees matches the track temperature of 17 degrees. The wind is 5 kilometers northerly at this stage, so I don't think we'll see any weather tonight, but the race start time will be 6 a.m. as Hemi Bateman just coming through the chicane now to finish his lap. He is up on his best time. He's sitting in P11 right now. I'm sure he's going to move up very shortly into P8. So nice work there from Hemi Bateman. Great time from him. Sean Madison, he's on a hot lap. I see purple on the timing screen. He's currently sitting in P2 right now. 117.7. Pole position currently belongs to Ryan Houlihan. in the McLaren. As Madison just coming through Blanchimont. So we've got a McLaren, a Honda, a BMW and an Audi. 4 different manufacturers in the top 5. Madison just pulls out of that one. Amy Bateman's on another good time here at the moment. Might dip down to Neil Fakeney as well. Here he is. There he is. Get the helicopter view going. And coming through Blanchimont now. So he is up on his best time. Fakeney. We've got just a tick over 5 minutes. Makes his way through the bus stop. A couple of yellow symbols coming up there, but he's going to make his way across. Can he improve on 16th? Yes, he can. He goes into P15. So a nice result for him. Carlos Dominiak, he's going to be the next driver to cross the line. Just having a look at some times up the top as well. Mitch Hobbs looks like he's on a fast lap. We'll duck over to him and see if we can get the end of that one. In the meantime, it's Philippa Bakita who's moved her way to the top of the times at 2:17.1. So half a second ahead of Ryan Houlihan, Sean Madison, Mitch Hobbs, Andy O'Hara. He rounds out the top 5. As Carlos Dominiak in P19. Andy O'Hara, he's up on his best time right now. Just coming through the column, so plenty of the lap left for him in the BMW. Going to go down the hill to the right-hander of Bruzel's. And then depends on who you talk to. I guess it depends on your personal preference. Turn 11, either Jackie X Corner or No Name, as it used to be known as. Into the fast left-hander. Pull on. Double left-hander. Still up on his best time, nearly half a second right now. That would be enough to move him up onto the second row of the grid. As he makes his way into Stavolo. So just over 3.5 minutes remaining right now. It's Philippa Bakita on pole position with a 2:17.1. Track is optimum. The air and the track temperature are both the same. It's 17 degrees right now. We're expecting the race start time to be 6 a.m. We've got a time multiplier of 1 this evening. So I'm not expecting to see much change in the time. It looks like Andy O'Hara has pulled out of that one. This man here, Ryan Houlihan, he did sit atop of the times for a little bit here tonight, but he's quickly replaced by his fellow McLaren driver, Philippa Bakita. As the 999 McLaren makes its way through the bus stop. I think he's going to improve on his time, but not enough to knock Bakita off, so she stays in P1 with less than 3 minutes remaining. Andy O'Hara, he was continuing on as well. What about Paul Russell in the Porsche tonight? As is customary for him with that Monster Energy livery. His sister was cheering him on in the chat last week. Heartbreaking, less than 3 minutes remaining in the race. And he put in the wall at turn 10 around Watkins Glen. Just picking up, I think Bakita's on a hot lap right now. She's just behind him, so we might stick with Paul Russell. Good enough for P11 right now. Seeing a lot of green on the timing screen. See where Andy O'Hara is as well. He's coming through Bruzel's. Sean Madison is out there too, so he's just following. So the big guns are out there. The top 3 are all out there, all jostling for P1 for round 8 of the RaceOnOz PC series. Approaching the end of this season, season 2 of the PC League. As here's Russell making his way through now, approaching the bus stop. Looks like Bakita is up on her best time by at least 2/10. We'll get to her momentarily. We'll just watch the end of this one from Paul Russell as he makes his run for the line. and he improves. He goes up into P9. This is Bakita. What can she do? She goes faster, a 16.8. That is a scintillating time. Ryan Houlihan's got it all to do. I think Andy O'Hara was just behind. Here he is. He's down on his best time. He's not going to improve. We're in the final 1 minute of qualifying. Sean Madison, he remains in P3. Just having a look for Ryan Houlihan now. Here he comes. He's down on his best time. So 16.8. That is super fast. That's the fastest time we've seen this evening, judging from practice as well. So Philippa Bakita looking to make it back-to-back wins. Can she kick it off with pole position right now? Houlihan, he's not going to improve on his time. Here's Mitch Hobbs. He's sitting P2 in the championship right now. He's sitting P2 on the timing sheets. Can he go quicker? No, he can't. So he will remain... Sorry, he's sitting P4, sorry. P4, my mistake. I was looking at Ryan Houlihan there. Who else do we have out there? How is... Bakita's gone again. She's setting purple sector times right now. Sean Madison. Daniel Hemi Bateman. He's just a little bit further up ahead. We might ride with him. He's 3/10 up on his best time. Currently sitting in P10 right now. Sitting in P3 in the Silver Championship after 7 rounds. Championship will begin to take shape very, very shortly if it hasn't already. We've gone 000 as Hemi Bateman makes his way to the line. Goes up into P9. Get back to Bakita. This is coming out of Paul Frere. She's got car number 5 just ahead of her there. That's her Batron. I think she'll really be getting much of a tow or getting too disturbed by the air coming from that car in front. Oh, he gets in the way a little bit. She's still a 10th up on her best time. 2:16.8 is her best. A 2:16.85, so she does improve ever so slightly. I don't think there's any other drivers out there who can take pole position away from her. Ryan Houlihan, Sean Madison, they're both in the pits. This man here, Mitch Hobbs, he's currently sitting P4. He's up on his best time. What about Andy O'Hara? He's half a second up. That would go a long way to moving him into P4. He's about to finish his lap now. Comes through the bus stop. Make or break time for him. Goes even faster, 6/10 up. Can he improve into P4? Yeah, he does. He goes better than that. He goes P3. Great effort there from Andy O'Hara in the dying stages of this one. Moves that B&W up into P3. Mitch Hobbs, he's moved down to P5. 4/10 up on his best time, though. Can he improve on that? Yes, he can. He goes to the front row of the grid with P2 in the Audi. Stunning time there from Mitch Hobbs. He's P2 in the championship and he's P2 on the grid. And that is our grid set for round 8 of the RaceOnOz PC series. It is Philippa Bakita with a 2:16.850. What a cracking time from her. That's all class. Mitch Hobbs, P2 with a 2:17.2. Ryan Houlihan in P3. The second row of the grid, Andy O'Hara in P4. Then you've got 5th is Sean Madison. 6th is Art Vanderlei. Matt Frost, is in 6th. James Pierre Reid, 7th. Daniel Hemi Bateman, 8th. 9th is Paul Russell. And 10th is Peter Wall. So, great qualifying session there. It was all run and done very, very quickly. But that is our grid. I'll scan down a little bit further. We had 29 cars who ended up qualifying there. Nando Latenzio didn't set a time. Neither did Harley Scotland down there in P28 and P29 as well. I'll give you just a look at the bottom half of the grid there on the timing screen. And that's where we're at right now. So that's our grid all set. We will be back very, very shortly for 60 minutes of Spa. Alright, welcome back. We're on the grid. 90 seconds away from getting this one started. Let's go for a quick walk along and we'll have a look here at the grid as I'm just getting this all sorted. There's Andy O'Hara, Sean Madison there. We've also got just in here, it's the Nugent Honda belonging to Art Vanderlei, Matt Frost in the Mercedes. That's James Pierre Reid there. In the McLaren, you got Daniel Hemi Bateman there. In the Audi, Paul Russell for company. What else do we have? This is Paul Wheel, I think it is. Yes, I can't see my timing screen right now. There's Paddy Oliver. But a strong field here to start this one. This is round 8 of the PC League. We're about to do 60 minutes of Spa. We've got a grid of 29. I think this is going to be a good one. 6 a.m. start time. So we're going to get some nice images of the sun rising. As the engines start. And we are not far from beginning the warm-up lap. And that's how it all looks from the air. See Heather Russell's back in the chat. Welcome back, Heather. Cheering on her brother Paul. Put in a good showing there in P9 in qualifying. And we're all going to head off. We had some server issues last week. Fingers crossed we don't get that tonight. As they make their way through Eau Rouge. Named for the colour of the water. There's a little creek that runs down there, so the minerals in the ground produce red water, hence Eau Rouge. Here's Art Vanderlei. He had a cracking battle a couple of weeks ago, actually, last week as well. He's with James Pierre Reid, I think, around Suzuka. But yeah, we'll see if what he can do there from P5. Matt Frost in the Mercedes. Currently sitting in P8 in the championship there. Just checking my notes. There's that lovely liveried Lamborghini that belongs to James Pierre Reid. Daniel Hemi Bateman there. There's Paul Russell. Who else do we have here? Aaron Dennis. Last week also we had our fluke. Was no fluke though. He went from last to 5th. So because we had the server restart, we weren't able to necessarily keep track of the driver progress and who had made positions up and whatnot. So it did slip by under the radar a little bit, but an awesome effort. He's not driving tonight. He's dealing with COVID. It seems we've gotten the better of him at the moment, but hopefully he'll be back next week. Hope he feels better soon. There's a lot of COVID out there at the moment, but not in here. Not in this server right now. We've only got some cracking racing ahead. This is John Drum down there in P21. Here's Simeon Cocco in the McLaren down there in 23rd. James Mack in the P25 there, another McLaren as well. So they should, I think they'll find the going good this evening. But a big field of 30 cars in total. Ryan Houlihan, what happened, Ryan? You were on the front row of the grid, so he's obviously had some sort of issue, and he's fallen all the way back to P30. So that's why the timing screen went a little bit crazy when I was reading out the times. Okay, that makes sense. So he was on the front row of the grid. That is huge. He's going to have to cut a swathe through the field, a la Rowdy Clayton from a couple of weeks ago, all the way from P30. So he's got it all to do right now. He's got it all ahead. Just coming through towards the end of the lap now, the back end of it anyway. We will be getting this one going very, very shortly. We're going to should be starting at the GT start line, which is halfway down the front straight out of La Source, just before Eau Rouge. Saw someone in the chat comments about some potential carnage there. Fingers crossed, hopefully not. Hopefully not. Hopefully everyone gets through nice and cleanly. And there's no dramas going through there, and all 30 cars can make their way through, and we get some good, hard, clean racing. But it looks like Matt Frost, car 666, he's in the pits. There he is, so no good for him. They're all lining up side by side. I'm pretty sure we're not going to get the start right now. We usually do the GT line. Yeah, and it will be the GT line. So I've been caught on that one before, but not this time around. I've learnt from my mistakes. So they're all side by side right now. So having a look at Mitch Hobbs. He's in P2. Look at the top 5 cars there. 2 Hondas, a McLaren, an Audi and a Beamer. Joined by Lamborghini and then 3 Audis in a row. So one of the top 4 cars going around this circuit here. As you can see up the top there. The Lamborghini, they're definitely in the mix as well. So they're about to get this started. Coming up to the line. We'll get the notification. Round 8.
Green light.
There it is. Let's go racing. Looks like Hobbs got a pretty good start there. They're going to go side by side into Eau Rouge. Up through the top, through Radion. Everyone looks like they're able to get through there cleanly right now. But it's Bakita in the lead. They're going to go 3 wide. That's Andy O'Hara, Art Vanderlei. I think that was Sean Hobson as well. But it's Bakita leading from Hobbs. And looks like everyone has managed to get through Eau Rouge in lap 1, all under control here. They're coming up to Lacombe for the first time this evening, and it has all been very orderly. Daniel Hemi Bateman making his way past Patrick Oliver. He's going to go side by side now into the right hand. He's going to have the inside line here. Might have made a little bit of contact there between the Audis, just a little bit of gentle rubbing. So he makes a nice move there. Did register his contact. That's a little bit more heavy contact there from Paddy Oliver. We've got Peter Wall coming through here as well. We'll get to the front of the grid in a moment. But a little bit of action going back there in 7th, 8th and 9th. But right now it's Philippa Bakita leading it from Mitch Hobbs. She's got Sean Madison in P3. He's got Andy O'Hara giving chase to him. Art Vanderlei is moving himself up into P5. James Pierre Reid 6th. Paddy Oliver 7th. Peter Wall 8th. Daniel Hemi Bateman 9th. That's Peter Wall. What's happened, Peter Wall? I see him dropping. Just going to try and pick him up. Where is he? I think he suffered a bit of contact potentially. There he goes. He goes around into the wall. So I think that's just out of poo on by the looks of it. So he's dropped all the way down into P22. But back to the live action. This is Mitchell Hobbs coming under attack from Sean Madison into the bus stop chicane. Looks like Hobbs able to hold him off. Madison having to run wide. That's going to open it up for O'Hara though. He's going to try and take advantage here. Go hard on the brakes into La Source. Art Vanderlei giving chase as well, but all 30 cars looking like they've all got a pretty decent start. The only one who's missed out was number 6. Oh no, Paul Russell. What's happened, Paul Russell? Let's see if we can see anything. What happened to Nando Latanzio? No. Something happened to Paul Russell. He's dropped all the way down into P27. And Kraithios looks like he had a move by Peter Wall down the inside there. So Nando Latanzio, no good for him. But out in front, it's Bakita. And it looks like Madison, he's managed to get past Hobbs. Let's have a quick look. We'll see if we can see the replay. It's up the Camel Straight. So it's a drag race between Honda and Audi, and he's managed to just put it up the inside there and make the move. So Sean Madison, I don't know what happened to his livery tonight. I did download them all, but yeah, not too sure There he is in P2, occupying currently. Mitch Hobbs giving chase. And this man here, Andy O'Hara, he'll want a little bit of retribution after last week. In unfortunate circumstances, getting disconnected. Be trying to make up for that this evening. So, looks like we've got a pretty good start underway. We've been going just over a tick over 3.5 minutes. And it's looking very orderly right now. Scanning down the field. This looks like it's the closest battle. Andy O'Hara giving chase to Mitchell Hobbs. Or Mitch Hobbs. I'll call him Mitch Hobbs. I don't know if it's short for Mitchell. But he's got on the timing screen. So have a look at that. BMW giving chase to the Audi. Hard under brakes there. Beautifully liveried BMW as well, belonging to Andy O'Hara. Again, another lap. Just having a look at the pace. Nikita, 2:17.6 is her best time so far. 2:17.8 to Sean Madison. The rest of them are in the 18s for now. So we'll see how that pace evolves. Ryan Houlihan in other news though, he's already made his way through the first half of the field. So he started in P30 and he's made his way up into P14 and make that P13 as he puts the move on Desman going into Eau Rouge, and as he pops out through Radion, and he is now occupying P13. He's on the move. Get some times from him very surely. Carlos Dominiak in the meantime, he's giving chase to Anthony Cesana in the Lamborghini. So the Audi very suited to this circuit. One of the lightest cars in the field at 1,225 kilos. So the power to weight is pretty decent in the Audis. The trick is you can tame them though. That's the only problem. Can be quite finicky. In other news though, Andy O'Hara starting to close the gap here on Mitchell Hobbs. It's half a second right now. We'll be hoping to just be able to put enough pressure on him. It's going to be tough to force a mistake out of him though. But right now, Bakita, Madison, Hobbs, O'Hara and Vanderlei. Mark Vanderlei, underrated I reckon. He's a bit of a quiet achiever. Old Art Vanderlei. Love the livery. This is the nice scrap here. This is going to be two quality drivers going at it. And O'Hara gets a nice little toe. Can he get up the inside? No, he can't. Not on that occasion. Certainly having a look at things though. We're looking at the behind from the rear wing of Mitch Hobbs. Let's see what the power difference is going to be between that BMW and the Audi. They head up through Eau Rouge. Sparks flying again. Right in the bumps at the top of Radion, up the Camel Straight. So I did say is that awkward length of 770 metres. But Andy O'Hara, he doesn't even need all of them. Oh, we've got collision between Pierre Reid and Daniel Hemi Bateman. While that's going on, can O'Hara pull it up? Oh, he went a little bit deep. That's opened it up for Hobbs. He's going to be able to fight back and retake that position. So nice work there from Hobbs, not giving it up without a fight. Let's see if I can just find what happened to Pierre Reid here. He's in the pits already, so I don't know what happened there. But he's already in the pits while watching this action, just finishing off the replay here. So we're not going to miss a single bit of action. And John Drum, what's happened, John Drum? Might have just been slowing. Oh, that does not look like a very good internet connection for old Johnny Drum. That's that doesn't look long for this race. Hopefully he goes all right. We can regain that. But yeah, that didn't look very healthy. Sean Madison in P2. Mitch Hobbs in third. Fourth is Andy O'Hara. And then Art Vanderlei is in there as well. Daniel Hemi Bateman. He's tucked in behind Mitch Hayes, who we saw scrapping it out with Art Vanderlei and Paul Russell last week. He finds himself in an early race battle already with Daniel Hemi Bateman. Some real quality driving last week around Watkins Glen. Didn't really see too much work to be done for the trusted drivers panel. Didn't really see too many issues raised as Hemi Bateman sends it up the inside. A little bit of contact there with the McLaren. You can see just wearing a couple of the scars from that. And they'll both be able to continue on without any dramas. Looks like there's a bit of action going on in the back of the field there. Did he get past? No, there he is. I just missed out on, I couldn't see him for a moment. It's going to be a drag race. It's going to be side by side into Eau Rouge. Who's going to blink first here? Hemi Bateman sends it through, cutting across the front, and the McLaren and Mitch Hayes, who runs pretty wide there through the top of Radion. Not too sure how that goes on the track limits validation there, but doesn't seem to have anything come from that. Oh, we got Desman and John Drum. They're both falling back through the field. Just having a quick look. Oh, we saw John Drum before with his internet connection not looking particularly healthy. Oh no. I hope that hasn't affected Desman there. So you see the aftermath of that. Yeah, that is not a very good internet connection right now. Let's just get back to the action that we had before. Where are we? Simeon Cocker. I've got to find out if it's Simone. Car 99 disqualified by race control. So car 99. That was John Drum. So John Drum has been disqualified by race control. This is Paquita. She's out in front. The gap is 2.6 seconds between her and Sean Madison. She might have been slowing up for one reason or another, but doesn't seem to be any drama with her. Just at the back though here, this is P8. P9 behind is this man here, Ryan Houlihan, just lurking behind, stalking the McLaren. He started in P30. He's moved himself all the way up to P9 right now, looking to take P8, and we can see on the timing screen there 21 positions he's gained already. And as Mitch Hayes and Daniel Hemi Bateman are scrapping it out, but they're going to want to keep their eyes looking back as well. They've got this McLaren coming through. Ryan Houlihan, 2:18.7 is his best time. I'll see what his other times are very, very shortly. Let's see. Get a move done up the Kemmel Straight on Mitch Hayes. No easy task getting past Mitch Hayes, but we've seen the pace from Houlihan. Hayes runs a little bit wide again through the top of Radion, and Houlihan looking like he might have enough pace here. They're side by side, last of the late breakers, and he's able to pull it up just in time as well, so he makes his move up into P8. So he takes another spot. 22 positions he's gained already, so great start from him. Just keeping an eye at the front of the pack as well. Andy O'Hara, he's 7/10 behind Mitch Hobbs, but it's Philippa Paquita 2.8 seconds ahead of Sean Madison, who's 2.8 seconds ahead of Mitch Hobbs, who's 1.8 now ahead of Andy O'Hara. But we're looking at Ryan Houlihan, started in P30. He's moved himself up into P8. He's got Daniel Hemi Bateman next on the list as they're coming into Campos. So Hemi Bateman's going to have it all to do with this man behind him. front of Ryan Houlihan now. Might fancy his chance into the bus stop. And that he does. As the sun starting to peek through now, starting to see some rays of sunshine. And it's been all sunshine and lollipops for that man. Ryan Houlihan moves himself up now into P7. He's 5.4 seconds down the road from Patrick Oliver in the Audi. So he's going to give chase to him. In the meantime, I think Coethios made a move. Oh, what's happened, Wally Masterson? Oh no, he's facing the wrong way. That's not good. That's out of the bus stop. Let's see what happened here. Car 81, that's Coethios. Oh, he's just turned it around by himself. Easy to do through there. Low speed corner, and he's just lost the back end and just flicked it around. So he'll get going again. Shouldn't be too much damage. He should be good to keep on trucking. Here's Hemi Bateman. So he's less than a second now. Oh, he's dropping back now from Ryan Houlihan. 2.3 ahead of Anthony Cesana. But out in front, it's all quiet in the top three as we approach the quarter way mark. And it is Philippa Bakita leading from Sean Madison, Mitch Hobbs, Andy O'Hara, Art Vanderlei. That's your top five. And Patrick Oliver, Ryan Houlihan, Daniel Hemi Bateman, Anthony Cesana, and Carlos Dominiak. That rounds out our top 10. We have 26 cars running right now. We started with 30. Comments in the chat there, just commenting on Ryan Houlihan. Let's have a look at his pace actually. So let's just do a quick little comparison there. So 2:17.5 was the last lap from Bakita, 2:18.5 from Ryan Houlihan. So just still a little bit off the pace there from Bakita, but definitely looking pretty good right now. He's closing up. He's going to have a bit of work to do actually to catch Paddy Oliver. 3.3 seconds is the gap between those two. Makes his way through the bus stop one more time. That light starting to peek through a little bit more. 6:24 a.m. And should probably start to see pit stops, I reckon, in about the next 10 minutes or so. Usually seems to be the optimal window. There is no mandatory window in this series. Tyres are mandatory in the pit stop though. Fuel is optional, so they will need to take tyres in the pit stop. That's where it went wrong last week for Sean Madison, so he might be a little bit nervous as we approach the pit stop window. P16, Matt Frost. He's all over the back of Simone Coco, who's chasing down Coethios. So nice little trio here. Go through Eau Rouge one more time. It's a BMW, McLaren and Mercedes. Coco for Belf Motorsport. That's the game livery there, the game team name. So go through the columns. So let's have a look for a bit more. I think these are the closest cars on the circuit. So field is relatively spread out right now. Best time of the race so far at 2:17.1 from Philippa Bakita. This is out there with Coco and Frost. Coethios. Oh, what happened, Harley Scotland? Looks like you might have made contact with someone or something, or previous already. Oh! And, he just gets it. Oh, I know he's eventually turned it around, so a nice little whack with the wall there. He'll continue on. He's down in P21 right now, Scotland. Having a look just back at the front of the field. This is Sean Madison. He's sitting in P2 right now, so still 2.3 seconds the gap between him and Bikini. You can see her rear of a McLaren just flashing by. He's got Hobbs 4.9 seconds behind, and Andy O'Hara just eking out just 2 seconds the gap. So top three relatively well spaced right now, so it might come down a little bit more to strategy tonight. Last week we saw all top three drivers all pit at the same time. It was Bakita, Madison and O'Hara, and it became it was Madison, Bakita, O'Hara, and then it was Bakita, O'Hara, Madison. That's how it came out of the pit stops. O'Hara just fluctuating now between 1.8 and 2 seconds, the gap between him and Mitch Hobbs just up ahead. Have a look at the position delta again. So Madison's up to Ryan Houlihan, 23 spots up there in P7. Some nice progress there from Susanna. 5 spots, Dominiak 6, Safto 5 spots, 7 spots to Coco, 7 to Hurley, 7 to Max, sorry. So not too many drivers losing a ton of spots other than Matt Frost, who dropped from P6 into P16. So that's how it's looking at a third race distance right now. But Andy O'Hara, he's got this is Wall in front of him. Just lapping him, getting out of the way. But it's all quiet right now. We'll have a look back down at Coco. Let's have a look at some lap times here. So O'Hara, and compare him with Bakita, 2:17.2 to a 2:18.4. Just a little bit off the pace there. So not on the same pace as Bakita. Madison, what's he doing? 2:17.7 to 2:18.4. The man he's chasing down, there you go, that's a little bit more in his ballpark. So a 2:18.2 to a 2:18.4 on the last lap there between Hobbs and O'Hara. So that BMW has still a little bit of work to do. Try and make his way up towards the rear wing of Mitch Hobbs. In the meantime, let's keep track of this man's progress. He's now closed up right behind the rear wing belonging to Patrick Oliver and that Dragon Ball Z Audi liveried car of his. So they come through Lacombe. So he's made up a whopping 23 positions. Started on the front row of the grid. Well, he qualified on the front row of the grid. For whatever reason, had some technical issues, obviously. Had to start from the rear of the field in P30. Finds himself right now in P7. Hunting down Patrick Oliver in P6. Go on board with him. 6:30 a.m. race local time. Track temperature is 19 degrees, as is the air temperature. Track conditions are optimal. Optimum is the track. Hunting down the Audi. Seen him make a move earlier on into the bus stop chicane. I dare say that might be what's going through his mind right now to do it all over again. Whoa. Patrick Oliver giving up a pretty good fight here. Let's see how long he can keep that McLaren belonging to Houlihan behind him. He's just done a 2:19.2. compared to Houlihan, who did a 2:18.7. So a second of difference there on the lap time. Couldn't get it done into the bus stop, so I dare say Camel Straight will be as good as any other place to do it. Pulls out of the toe nice and early. Audi versus McLaren. Nice side-by-side stuff here, and looks like he's going to be able to get a pretty clean pass through. Oliver trying to make up some ground under brakes, but has to concede now. Houlihan gets that job done, so he moves his way into P6 now. He's got Art Vanderlei about 8 seconds up the road. So in the Honda, he will be his the next car he looks to hunt down as he continues his charge from the rear of the field. Just having a look down there, O'Hara, that's still hovering at 1.8 seconds, the difference between him and Hobbs. Bakita's just pulled out a little bit more of a gap now. So she's out by herself. 3.6 seconds is the gap right now, to be exact. 6:23, that's James Mack. Oh, what's happened, James? Let's have a look. This is through Lacombe. Oh, has he just turned it around? Oh, that's a big hit too. That's not good. So he might have to make his way into the pits. But I was going to say, Bakita doing it pretty easily right now. Might just shut up and give you guys a lap of Spa with Philippa Bakita. Hope you all enjoyed that. I certainly did. That was a lap of Spa with Philippa Bakita, who sits currently P1. Her best time was a 2:17.1. Right now, that last lap was a 2:17.4. So pace is definitely hot for her. And we have a pit stop. First of the front runners, it's Mitch Hobbs. It's an extremely long pit lane through here, so he's got a long way to go. I was just having a look down there. Masafto, he was battling it out there. So in the pits, Patrick Oliver, Mitchell Hobbs, Anthony Cesana, he's making his way in the pits as well. So stops are beginning to happen. We are closing in on the halfway mark of this one. This is going to be very interesting to see how the top three runners handle this. Mitch Hobbs, he was currently running in P4 when he made his stop. So just want to make sure. Oops. I get all of that sorted, I'll bring up pit stop times. There we go. So, alright, so I'll just make sure I get that up when we need to. I'll have a look at pit stop times in a moment, but Musafto on fake near. This is for P9 and P10. So these two are putting in a good effort. The Aston Martin versus Mercedes. Just want to have a look at the last stop length. Last stop length. Having a look for Mitch Hobbs. Not Mitch Hayes. Where's he dropped down to? Hobbsy. P11, still stationary, and there is, so he's coming out, we'll just wait, 107.8. Alright, so that's the benchmark time, if you like. So he makes his way back out. Susanna, he's in there. Oliver, he's making his stop now as well. So Hobbs, definitely the quickest of the stops that have happened. Patrick Oliver making his way out now. This was Fakeney and Musafto, and I will be keeping a very close eye on the drivers at the front. We'll see when they decide to make their stops. 3.9 seconds is the gap there between Bakita and Sean Madison. Haven't seen too much of him this evening. A bit of a lonely old race he has in the Honda. So the strategy is about to unfold in front of our eyes. And we've got less than halfway. So we're over the halfway mark as the sparks flying from the back of the Aston Martin. Corathios looks as he's going to make his way into the pits. Or has he had an issue somewhere? Not too sure. No, I think he's okay. Dominiak, he's making his stop. Houlihan, so he'll be one to keep an eye on here. Where are you, Houlihan? There he is. Alright, so he's making his stop as well. Let's get the last stop length on there as well. So we'll just keep an eye on that. Fastest has been 107.8. That was from Mitch Hobbs. He set the benchmark. Andy O'Hara currently in P3 right now. Art Vanderlei in 4th. So obviously stops all need to be made. A little green box indicating drivers that have made a stop. Musafto, he's all over the back of Fakeney in the Aston Martin as they go down into Bruzel's circuit, starting to become a little bit more bathed in sunshine. Still 19 degrees air temperature, 19 degrees track temperature. The track is at optimum as well, so conditions still great for racing. James Pierre Reid, so he's dropped out. Hate it when you get a behaviour you've never had before. Lambo bottomed out on the landing after Radion. Never had that in practice. So he had a bit of an issue. Ryan Houlihan, he's made his stop. Let's see what that stop length was. 111. Alright, so a lot slower. And here we go. The race leaders are in. This is Bakita. She's making her stop now. So is Sean Madison. He's followed in. This is where it went wrong for him last week, so he'll be extra vigilant this week. Andy O'Hara, he's made his way in again, so second week in a row, the top three have all made the stop at the same time. We'll just keep a track of this. So a 107.8 from Hobbs. That was the fastest time. Tyres are compulsory. Fuel is not. There's Bakita, followed very closely by Madison. And there's O'Hara, so let's see Bakita if she hits her spots. Yep, looks pretty good. Madison, he's already stationary, and Andy O'Hara, he's about to make his stop. There it is. Hits his marks, he's all good. Bakita, all three race lead in the pits, all the top three. There's the Lamborghini. In the meanwhile, Neil Fakeney, he's making his way into the pits. So is Mitch Hayes. They're all coming in. Jonathan Masafto. In the meantime, Art Vanderlei. Off we go. So what's the time? A 107.7 from Bakita. Sean Madison. He was a 110.8, so a little bit slower. And Andy O'Hara, 107.7. So once again, Sean Madison a little bit slower than the other two in the pit stop, but it hasn't cost him as dearly as it cost him last week. Obviously, Bakita's been able to open up a bit of a gap between him and her. And that's Hobbs. That's Hobbs coming through. And he's able to do it. He gets past O'Hara. Great work from Mitch Hobbs. He went the early pit stop. He was the one who blinked first with conviction. And he's able to get past O'Hara. So Andy O'Hara has plenty of work left for him. 25 and a half minutes left in this one. Finds himself in P5. Currently sitting in P3 in the championship. Just behind Mitch Hobbs. So this can have championship implications. Sean Madison, our championship leader, and he's run wide there. That was just out of turn 11. Jackie Hicks. And doesn't look like that car's particularly stable right now, so maybe just getting those tyres back up to pressure. What about Neil Fakeney? Did he have I saw contact? No, nothing. All right, back to Andy O'Hara. So he's got the Audi ahead of him, belonging to Mitch Hobbs, but Philip Bakita, she was able to get it done. Everyone's made their stop except Art Vanderlei. So the fastest stop out there was, I think it was our race leader, Bakita, a 107.7. So not only is she fast on the track, but fast in the pits as well. O'Hara on the screen, he's giving chase to Hobbs. Madison up ahead and Philippa Bakita. But this man here, Art Vanderlei, he's in the pits. He's our race leader right now. And Bakita just coming through. She will take that race lead very, very shortly. Where she has been for the majority of this one. What about Houlihan? Where did he come out? He's in P6. So let's get back to the race gap, shall we? He is 16.7 seconds. Looks like he's behind O'Hara, or where's Vanderlei? He's coming out. What about Houlihan? It's going to be pretty close between these two. Houlihan's got to have a head of steam, and his tyres will be up to pressure. Car up ahead, just in the distance there. That's the Honda of Art Vanderlei. So Ryan Houlihan, he's got the carrot dangling in front of him right now. He's got 23 minutes to see if he can grab himself a top 5 position. But in the meantime, after all the pit stops have been filtered out, it's this lady here, Philippa Bakita in P1. Sean Madison, he's there in a very solid P2 right now in the Honda. Mitch Hobbs in the Audi, he's P3. Andy O'Hara chasing him down in 4th. And then Art Vanderlei. That's your top 5. Houlihan, Oliver, Hammy Bateman, Anthony Cesana, and Carlos Dominiak rounds out our top 10. That's how it looks with about 22 and a half minutes to go. This is round 8 of the Race on Oz PC League. Hope you're enjoying the stream. See a bit of action in the chat there as well. But I think we're pretty well set up for a good finish here. O'Hara is still at 1.8 seconds. Just can't quite crack the gap between him and Hobbs. Got plenty of Audis in the top 8 there. 3 in fact. A couple of Hondas, a couple of McLarens, and a BMW as well. Just to be a little bit different. Having a quick scan down the field. This was the closest battle, 1.8 seconds, now currently 2.3, so the field relatively spread out right now. I'm sure as we come closer to the end of this one, it'll will begin to tighten up. A tight battle right now between Coco and Peter Wall. They're down there in P15 and P16. So the McLaren and the Audi. Just trying to see where Wall is in the championship. He's P2 in the silver class right now. So he was just behind Nando Latenzio, who I do believe is down there in P20 right now. So some championship implications for the silver class. Daniel Hammy Bateman down there in P8 as well. So that's for the silver. There's Coco coming out of the bus stop, beginning another lap. Gap still 1.8 seconds. Herb Atron. Maybe he was just, I think he was just slowing down there for some faster traffic coming through. Yeah, he's got Andy O'Hara just looming up behind him, so he does the right thing, slows down. He let Mitch Hobbs through. Lets Andy O'Hara go through as well. Oh, he's just hit the wall there, just coming through campus, so not great news for that Ferrari. Ryan Houlihan. Gap between him and Art Vanderlei is at 2.6 seconds. So he continues to make up positions. You can see there, 24 in fact from where he started, P30. He's up 24. Matt Frost, he's dropped 5. Peter Wall, he's dropped 5. A couple of other movers, Coco and Hurley, up 6 spots too. Let's have a look at times right now. So it's not really indicative. Oh, this will give us a bit more of an idea between Vanderlei and Houlihan as they make their way across the line. So a 2:19.1 to a 2:17.5. So Houlihan, hand over fist, making up time on Vanderlei. As we've seen quite a few times already tonight, this man on screen making up a lot of positions. He's done it at the bus stop. He's done it at the end of the Kemmel Straight through Lacombe. Will he choose a different position on the track this time, or is he going to go with the old faithful? There's the gap between him and Vanderlei in the Honda. Just compare Houlihan's pace to our race leader. So 2:17.1 to a 2:17.5. So not too bad there between Bakita and Houlihan. It gives you a bit of an idea on the pace. The fastest lap time of a 2:17.1. She did a 2:16.8 in qualifying. Track has warmed up a little bit. It's now at 20 degrees. Still matching the air temperature. Track's at optimum. Wind at 2 k's, blowing a roughly southwesterly at about 2 kilometres. So conditions still good. 6:50 a.m. Oh, Houlihan! Almost went around there. That was through Pouon. That's easy to do through that corner. The left-hander. He'll lose a little bit of time now between him and Vanderlei. O'Hara just can't quite crack that gap. Here he is between him and Mitch Hobbs. So last time around a 2:17.9 to Mitch Hobbs, a 2:17.8 to O'Hara. So made up a little bit of ground. He's going to need a lot more than that though to get himself up onto the podium. And Bakita going for 2 wins in a row. Take her total to 4 for the season. Still 17 minutes to go. And Coco's still going at it as well with Peter Wall. So these two are battling it out for P15 and P16. Peter Wall, P2 in the silver class. Coco P8 in the AM class. So a multi-class battle happening right now before our eyes. And they are the closest two cars out on the circuit. Let's have a look. Lap times 2:20.6 and 2:20.8. So Coco just a couple of tenths slower. Wall though, he's 6 tenths off his best time of a 2:20.2. So Coco trying to make up a bit of ground now on the Audi as they make their way into the chicane complex one more time. As we approach the final quarter hour of this one, this is round 8 of season 2 of RaceOnOz PC League. We're watching the battle for 15th and 16th. In the meantime, if you're just joining us though, it's Philip Paquita out in front from Sean Madison, Mitch Hobbs, Andy O'Hara and Art Vanderlei. That's your top 5. Paquita put it on pole position. Ryan Houlihan, he occupies P6. He started P30 after a technical issue there that dropped him to the back of the grid after he qualified on the front row. And he seems to have sort of stalled out a little bit there in P6. It's 2 seconds the gap. See if he can make a little bit more headway. Andy O'Hara just being held up a little bit here. I think that's James Mack in the McLaren, our AM championship leader. And there he goes, gets himself well out of the way. And lets O'Hara make his way through. Golf Western-esque livery on the McLaren there, belonging to James Mack. Mark Hurley is his closest rival in the championship. Just having a look for Mark at the moment. Can't see him on... Oh, there he is, up there in P18. So that AM championship is quite close at the moment as well. What about Houlihan? Still at 2.3 seconds the gap. So his charge seems to have just run out a little bit of steam for now, as we're into the final 14 minutes. We'll head back to these two though, Peter Wall and Coco. Passing through Blanchimont. We got the rear of the Audi belonging to Peter Wall. These are the two closest cars on the circuit. Houlihan just making up a little bit of ground. It's 2 seconds the difference between him and Vanderlei, who seems to have found his groove. 2:21 flat till 2:21.4 between Coco and Wall. Up a lot of ground there. Might get back to here. So this is Houlihan looking to get himself a top 5 position. Top 5 sounds a lot better than the top 6. Here's the view from on board with him. The gap out in front, Madison, 8.5 seconds the difference between him and Paquita. Having a lonely old race tonight. Mitch Hobbs in P3. Andy O'Hara has closed the gap now by half a second between him and Hobbs. Get to that momentarily. We'll see how this... Well, actually, we might jump to it right now because they're coming up the Kemmel Straight. There's the gap between the two of them. Let's see what the times were on that last time around. So, O'Hara, 4 tenths faster. 2:18 flat to 2:17.6. So Andy O'Hara just found something there in the last lap there. Closing in on Hobbs And Houlihan, it's his last lap between him and Vanderlei. 2:18.4 to a 2:18 flat, so 4/10 faster. So these battles for the final 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th still all up for grabs as we approach the final 11 minutes of this one. Bakita been in a class of her own tonight. She's well out front. We're watching the guys race it out for the minor placings. Yeah, she'll go 2 in a row if she can hold on for the next 11 minutes. O'Hara, the gap. There it is, a second now. And the Coco all over the back of the wall still. This is the rear view from the rear wing of belonging to Hobbs. I think Andy O'Hara will be pretty sick of looking at that. As the circuit's starting to be bathed completely in sunshine. That sun is rising. Air temperature and track temperature still match. 20 degrees, it's at optimum. And we've got 20 minutes left in this one. Last time around, 2:17.6 to Andy O'Hara, 2:18.3 to Mitch Hobbs. So O'Hara quickening the pace. Can Hobbs fight him off? Sean Madison, what happened to Sean Madison? It looked like he was slowing a little bit. Ah, there you go. So he had Lando Natenzio. I think he might have just been making his way past there. Back to these two. Look at that. That is what 4/10 of a second look like on a racetrack. O'Hara really starting to make up a lot of ground on Hobbs. Can he hold on? I wonder if those tyres are just starting to cry enough. O'Hara will definitely feel that a podium would be well deserved after the disaster of last week. Had the disconnect. No such issues tonight. And he's really closing in now on the Audi belonging to Mitch Hobbs. This will have championship implications as well. Hobbs is second on 424 points. Andy O'Hara on 423. Our championship leader, Sean Madison, he's sitting in P2 right now. And Philippa Bakita, she was the furthest back from the top three, 411 points. So if she's able to take a win tonight, that'll do her championship bid a whole lot of good. Still need to finish it out though, 8.5 minutes. There's Lando Natenzio just up ahead. So he's going to probably do his best to get out of the way. Andy O'Hara just tucking into the draft there of the Audi, getting a nice little toe. Hobbs ran a little bit wide there, and well done to Latenzio getting out of the way. That was some really good driving. O'Hara made up a lot of ground. Hobbs ran a little bit deep. O'Hara's going to be able to get the switch back here. It's going to be a drag race down the front straight into the source. They're going to go side by side. Hobbs will have the inside line here. He'll be able to defend quite easily. He's going to force O'Hara around the outside. But this battle looks like it's going to continue up into Eau Rouge and up to the Kemmel Straight as the BMW tucks in under the rear wing once again, hoping to get a nice little toe as they approach Eau Rouge. Sparks flying from both of the cars. O'Hara pushing hard. Hobbs is going to have to fight him off here as we go on board with him. They're going to go side by side. O'Hara is going to have to go around the outside. Hobbs can defend on the inside. O'Hara inching further ahead. Oh, he can't quite get it done. And Hobbs is able to defend and hold him off for now. How long though? 7 minutes left. Can he keep this hard charging BMW behind him? Can O'Hara find a way past? There's championship implications on the line right here. They're P2 and P3. There's a point that separates them in the championship standings. There's 0.2 of a second that separates them on the racetrack. So they go through Jackie Eakes. O'Hara all over the back of him now, pushing hard. Ran a little bit wide there. Wants to just keep his head now. He's got a podium sitting just there within his grasp. Mitch Hobbs is going to do absolutely everything in his power to hold on to it. He wants it just as bad as O'Hara. Coming through Campos. What was that last lap? A 2:18.8 to Hobbs. A 2:18.2. Sorry, I had to have a quick look. So O'Hara definitely has the pace. We've seen that for the last couple of laps now. Runs a little bit wide coming out of Paul Ferrat. And this is great stuff in the closing stages of round 8. Less than 6 minutes remaining. O'Hara making the move. Having to go around the outside. And Hobbs able to just place that Audi perfectly to defend up the inside. Doing a great job to keep Andy O'Hara behind him. That's no mean feat, but these two have been going at it for quite some time now. Bakita, in the meantime, she still leads from Madison and Hobbs. He's under attack though. Ryan Houlihan and Art Vanderlei, they changed positions. I think that happened at the bus stop chicane. They're going to go drag side by side into La Source. Can the McLaren driver pull it up? It's going to go down the inside. Doesn't run too deep. He's going to have to do his best to keep Vanderlei behind him as they go up Eau Rouge. I'll make sure I get back to Hobbs and O'Hara. Just watching this battle play itself out. This is for a top 5 position. And Houlihan manages to get it done. So nice work from him. Back to this battle here. Andy O'Hara, Mitch Hobbs continue to go at it. This is awesome stuff. Less than 5 minutes remaining. Probably a couple of laps left, given how long this circuit is. Bakita's miles out in front. She's doing it easy. The action's all happening behind her. Hobbs has had that BMW behind him. Can he do it? Can he keep it behind him for another 4 minutes and 20 odd seconds? Or will Andy O'Hara manage to find a way past? We saw a scrap similar to this back at Suzuka between Bakita and Rowdy Clayton. That ended with a little bit of argy-bargy. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but we hope we don't see this boil over. I haven't seen any signs that would even suggest that right now. But there's a lot on the line. There's a podium spot. P3, in fact. High stakes in the championship as well. 1 point separating these two. Review from O'Hara, so he looked to make a move on the last lap around. Hobbs defending brilliantly once again, just placing that car perfectly. Oh, this is great stuff. This is great stuff from Hobbs. What a fight. So, probably maybe 2 more now. Maybe 2 more laps. 3 minutes and 13 seconds left. That was an Audi in the pits there. I think car number 2. Not Peter Wall, car number 17. Anyway, back to this action. Can O'Hara get the toe? Very, very similar matched in terms of horsepower, in terms of weight as well. O'Hara gets a nice little draft, but Hobbs, look at that car positioning. Just says, I'm going to make it as hard as I possibly can for you to get past. You're going to have to go around the long way. And continues on, holds that position, holds on to P3. O'Hara, you'd have to imagine, would starting to become slightly frustrated. I haven't really seen anything to suggest that from the body language of the car, but he's doing everything he possibly can. Just cannot get past the Audi of Hobbs, who gets a little bit loose there through turn 11 as they approach Pouon. No time for mistakes now. Any kind of mistake can potentially cost you a podium position. Runs a little bit wide from the exit of Pouon, but nothing too extravagant there. O'Hara continuing to push as hard as he possibly can. Just having a look where Bakita is. She's just coming up through Blanchimont. So we will get one more lap after this one. Yeah, she's at the bus stop now. A minute and a half left. So she'll be getting the final lap very shortly. That means Andy O'Hara will only have about 21 turns left to see if he can.
Right, man. Leader is on the final lap. Give
There it is. There's the signal. And not as close as he was last lap around. So one more lap. Can Hobbs continue to defend and hold on to this podium position? Can O'Hara get past? We've got 20 turns and 7.04 kilometres to find out as the clock down in T-minus 50 seconds. The defending from Mitch Hobbs has been absolutely phenomenal. First class tonight. Just that car positioning, making it as hard as possible for Andy O'Hara to try and sneak past. They go up through Eau Rouge into Radion now, pushing hard. That last lap of 2:18.6. Oh my God, they were identical times the last lap around. Here goes O'Hara. We've seen this happen a few times already. Hobbs, beautiful defending. Oh, they make a little bit of contact. Just hit him on the front left wheel there, O'Hara. That was a win it or bin it move, and just couldn't quite pull it off. You got to think that might have been his one and only chance. He's pulled wide there. So disappointing end for Andy O'Hara. But Mitch Hobbs, what a phenomenal effort from this guy tonight. Absolutely, he absorbed all of that pressure from behind. And the last lap there, identical, 2:18.695. No, that is not right, Nick. Sorry, 2:18.795. My mistake. I had them both clicked on the same one. I think Bakita, here she is, out in front, so she's only got a few more turns left. She's got to take win number 2 in a row. It'll take her tally to 4 wins in total with 2 rounds remaining. She's definitely throwing her hat in the ring for a championship victory. She comes through the chicane one last time. She put it on pole position with a scintillating lap of 2:16.8. She takes victory. Congratulations, Philippa Bakita, round 8 winner. She's set it on pole. She's taken home race victory. Sean Madison, another strong performance from him, comes home in P2. That'll do his championship no end of good. Mitch Hobbs, drive of the night in my opinion. The defending was absolutely first class to keep Andy O'Hara behind him, and I reckon he enjoyed that one. Andy O'Hara comes home in P4. This man here, Ryan Houlihan, he started in P30. He's going to finish the race here in P5. A top 5 finish for him. Congratulations, Ryan Houlihan. Might have been a case of what if. Art Vanderlei, he crosses the line in P6. Another strong result for him. Here comes Paddy Oliver. Didn't see him last week, but he's back. He's going to finish there in P7 with the Dragon Ball Z liveried car there. Nice work, Paddy Oliver, as he crosses the line. Well done. Daniel Hemi Bateman, currently sitting P3 in the Silver Championship. So that'll have championship implications written all over it there in P8. Anthony Cesana is going to bring that Lamborghini home. But look at these two, Dominiak and Matt Frost. They're fighting till the very, very end. That's for P10 and P11. Matt Frost just misses out there. He takes P11 in the Mercedes. Mitch Hayes, we saw plenty of him last week. We saw a little bit of early battle with him, but he's going to bring home that McLaren for a well-deserved P12. Congratulations to him. Neil Fakeney bringing the Aston Martin home. He's going to finish there in P13. Well done to him. Solid drive. Cryethios in the BMW. He will be finishing 14th. Congratulations to him. Simone Cocco had a nice little scrap there early on. Bring that McLaren in P15. Safto in P16. Hurley, Masterson, Latanzio, James Mack, McGillany, Herbertron, Peter Wall, Haycock, Scotland, and James Pierre Reid was a DNF. But tonight it belonged to this lady here, Philippa Bakita. She was a class act. She put it on pole position, and she also took out the race win, and she took out the fastest lap. So the clean sweep to Philippa Paquita. Congratulations. Sean Madison in second, and Mitchell Hobbs he defended for his life tonight in P3. Congratulations to him. All right, that is all that we have left for everyone tonight. I hope you all enjoyed it. Maybe not win or not. It wasn't a win it or bin it move. It was a last gasp attempt. So I was definitely not there was no inclination there that I thought that was a desperate move or any sort of reckless or anything like that. It was just it was a last gasp attempt. So no ill will there by any stretch of the imagination. All right, so that's round 8 all done. We are moving on to round 9. So I'm not 100% certain. I think it's either the Nürburgring or the Hungaroring. So whichever way, we're going to a ring. And we will be doing that all again next week. So you'll be able to find us same place, same time on the ACC Ruse YouTube channel. But tonight it was Paquita, Madison and Hobbs. That was your top 3. Thank you very much. I hope you all enjoyed that. My name is Nick, and that is it. Until next week, stay safe.